Hi, my name is Feroz Abbas Khan, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Now, sir, you've had Gandhi, My Father, and which won many national awards. Anil Kapoor, I think he was extremely excited about the film. He just promoted like anything. Why is it that you've not done too many films post that? You've had like a Dekh Tamasha Dekh after that, but you could have done, I think, almost any number of films post that.
I have to have a reason to do work. That why am I doing it? The
Right.
first question is that is this work that I'm doing, is it going to make a difference to me first of all?
Right.
Is it going to make a difference to the people watching it?
Sure.
I haven't come around to do work which I just do it. So that is my problem. And so after Gandhi, My Father, I wanted to do Dekh Tamasha Dekh. And it got delayed. And until Dekh Tamasha Dekh happened, I just could not think of doing any other film.
Right.
But I was very happy doing theatre. So I'm driven by the reason to do the work, and not because I feel, well, okay, now I have enough films, I can use my name or use my craft, my whatever I have, and just make films just like that. So I think that, yeah, I was a bit of a misfit there to be able to do those kind of films that don't mean much to me. But because I get so much satisfaction in theatre, that I get pulled into doing theatre, and that's the reason I actually, there's no real, I haven't really thought about it, but I just got driven into something which was very, powerful for me. So I went doing more theatre rather than doing film. Dekh Tamasha Dekh happened, didn't do that well, but it's still a work I'm extremely proud about. So
Okay.
the two films that I have done, I'm very proud about them. And those two films are not films that will get over by the weekend. They will remain with us for perhaps a very long time to come, because they are films that tell us about who we are as a nation.
Sure.
They tell us about Gandhi and his personal life, and Dekh Tamasha tells you about the kind of country that we have become. And that will always remain with us. So I think perhaps that's what drives me. Work that is not just for its time, but perhaps for all times to come.
Great. And now, so obviously, when you're talking about Gandhi, My Father, and you're talking about Dekh Tamasha Dekh as well, you're talking about the way that the country has progressed and the way the country was when you're talking about Gandhi. Now, when Mughal-E-Azam released and the sort of mammoth response the movie got was something that I think is unprecedented. I still remember people keep on talking about it because Golcha cinema ke bahar itni lambi line lagti thi, and it used to be like there for forever. When you're making a play now, when you're just releasing Mughal-E-Azam now, and in the recent past we've had murmurs that Akbar Road ko Delhi mein naam change kar dena chahiye, and maybe Akbar was not the most best of rulers and stuff like that. Now if we go to history, he's one of the most secular figures that India has ever had in its entire history, in terms of Deen Ilahi and all sorts of other things which are associated with Akbar. Do you feel that you're coming up with a play in different times, and there can be people who may be having, because these days people come up with all sorts of weird notions these days. So you really don't know.
You see, to me, three people define the idea of India.
Ji.
One is Ashoka, and if you see, Ashok happens to be everywhere with us, our Ashok Chakra. Ashok inspires the idea of India,
Ji.
because Ashok decides that non-violence is not the way to rule. And he brings in an idea of non-violence. He understands that violence is not the way. He brings in non-violence. He brings in compassion as the guiding principles of a statecraft. So
Especially
Ashok,
after what he was.
after
and
what he was,
became.
what he did, I think Kalinga War completely changes Ashok.
Correct.
But those are, of course, ideas, and so we have, as a country, paid respect to him, and we said Ashok is one who defined, in many ways, laid the foundation.
Ji,
and
ji.
if you look at Ashok edicts all over the country, because he used to put those edicts on stone, so they're all preserved, and so wonderfully. So though Ashok is no more, what he believed should be the way a ruler should rule. And so they were a set of principles of an idea of India. He did that. The second one is Akbar, because a man who is uneducated, he's unlettered, he doesn't know anything, and then decides to bring in the idea of Deen Ilahi. He used to sit and even listen to Mahabharata. He used to sit and listen to Ramayana. He used to ask people from all religions to come and recite to hear their religious ideas and their text, and he was absorbing all that. And I think he finally understood is that there is a common humanity that goes across. So there is a common humanity in religion which makes those religion extremely powerful. And he wanted a synthesis of all the humanity in all the religion, and then was experimenting with Deen-e-Ilahi. To experiment in Deen-e-Ilahi is in the 16th century is far, far ahead of its time. He was an absolute monarch. He could have done whatever he wanted. He is the one who removed jizya tax. That was a tax that was had to be paid by non-Muslims. And he said, nothing doing. Everybody is equal. He had so many people in his court who were non-Muslims.
Absolutely.
Okay. So a man who much, maybe it's part of his statecraft. Maybe he did it because he understood that's the only way to go. But then he understood very, very early that, look, the only way this country can be ruled is including and not excluding everybody.
Bilkul.
This country cannot be ruled by one majoritarian view. It cannot be done that. And we've just seen across Pakistan is that it tried to define itself as a supremacist majoritarian view of religion.
Absolutely.
And it is gone exactly in the direction that everybody will go.
Absolutely.
So I think when we look at ourselves, we should take inspiration from Ashok, it should take inspiration from Akbar, and it should take inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi.
Absolutely.
These are the three people who define the idea of India. We would be very sad if we take our inspiration from Pakistan. So I think what happens is in competitive...
Many people are doing that these days. Many people are doing that.
So I think in so I think the competition should be about the higher values and not about the baser instincts.
Kya baat?
So I think we are saying that my vahiyat is better than your vahiyat.
Absolutely.
Vahiyat is not the competition.
Absolutely.
Ugliness is not the competition. Competition of civilizational values, and for which India is so rich and powerful. So I am of the great opinion that all these aberrations, these small thinking, these small ideas which we trying to exaggerate, is not akin to the nature of the Indian civilization. It cannot tolerate this for.
It won't sustain.
We have very little. We don't have long tolerance for intolerance. Yeah, I don't think so. This
very well said.
Country has that. So I think all these little things about Akbar being this and Akbar being that, I think these three people in many ways actually tell you what this country is. You need to read them. You need to see how they worked, how they did, and in many ways dedicated their entire life to that. And please understand that for Akbar, with the kind of the religious order that was there around, for him to even think of Deen-e-Ilahi would be blasphemy. But the man did it. And I think it also tells you sometimes...
Absolutely. And that too like so many years back.
Yeah, sometimes...
Aaj ke time mein baat karna mushkil hai, and he did
sometimes
that
it gives you to understand that highly educated people could be emotionally illiterate.
Absolutely.
And I think Akbar may be an illiterate man, but he was emotionally a very big man.
Absolutely.
And that's where he was able to encompass everybody.
Absolutely.